Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this EIOTCLUB 4G LTE portable Wi-Fi hotspot. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost anything extra. So this comes with a 1 GB trial plan. It's valid for 1 day. If you look at the product page, you can find the other data plans that are available for purchase. So this requires no contract. So let's get it open. Now I may have tape on things or blur things out for privacy reasons. I'll pull this out. So here we have the hotspot. Pull this out. We have a quick start guide. We have a battery and a USB-A to USB-C cable. So the battery is 3000 milliamp hours or 11.1 watt hours. So let's get that installed. So there's a little notch in the corner. So if I can pull that out, I'm going to use a little pry tool there. Just have these little tweezers. So I'll get this battery installed. I'll line the notch up and get the back installed. Let's get this charging. So I'll plug it into USB here and I'll plug it in the side. And it's currently charging at 1.16 amps. So that can vary depending on the state of charge of the hotspot. So while that's charging, let's take a look at the quick start guide. So when we power this on, it will give us a Wi-Fi network. You can also plug this in with USB. So you can go to an internal IP address of 192.168.8.1 to manage this. Username and password as admin. There's a QR code on the back. You can scan it to refill it. Here are some specs. So this is 4G LTE, has 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, supports up to 9 devices via Wi-Fi and 1 via USB. So let me get this booted up. So the battery looks about 3/4. It's actually kind of hard to see on my screen here, but it's very easy to see in person. So it's about 3/4 full. So I'm going to hold down the power button. And it's booting up. I'm going to turn my light off here. That'll make it easier to see. So this is booted up. It has a Wi-Fi access point. I'm going to connect to that with my iPad. So it says connected to AT&T. So I'll go to a web browser. I'll do a search here. And we're connected to the internet. So that was very easy. Let me go into the admin interface. So here we have the admin interface. We can refill. So this gives us a QR code to refill. Let's go to status. So this shows different things. Near the top it says we have 64% battery. We're on the AT&T network. So this is going to be on the AT&T or the T-Mobile network. Let's go to settings. So if we go to settings, we can change our Wi-Fi settings. You can do firewall settings. So you can essentially do the settings you would do on a traditional internet router. You can do on here. So you can change DHCP and things like that. So I'll go back to the home page. We have support form and settings is going to be the same settings we had when we hit the status page. So this was asleep. I hit the power button to wake it back up. Now if we hit the other button, that will give us a QR code to connect to Wi-Fi. If we hit it again, it will give us a QR code to scan to refill. And if we hit it one more time, we're going to get the manual. So it's very easy to use. So I'm going to disconnect my iPad. Now let's try this in wired mode with a PC. Here I have a portable PC. I'll turn it on. So this is almost like a hybrid mini PC tablet. I'm going to connect a keyboard mouse to it though. And the hotspot will plug in with USB. So we have this USB connector here, and I'll plug it in the side. Now I'm actually not going to plug that in quite yet. Let me get into Windows. I'm going to go into my settings. Now you might not be able to see the screen, so I'll try and narrate what I'm doing. So I'm going to plug into this. I'm going to go to Network and Internet. I'm going to turn off Wi-Fi, and I'll go to Properties here, and I'll turn on Metered Connection. So I have limited data on this. I don't want it to be downloading updates and such while I'm using this. So now let's go to a web browser. I'll pull up a website. There we go. I'm not real sure what Bing is doing here, but there we got the website show up. So I went back into my network settings and I thought it was on Ethernet here, but it actually created another network called Network 3, and I told it it was on a metered connection, and I also had it say public network. So I think it was a little bit confused. So now I should be able to surf the web here. So there's two ways to connect this to a computer. You can use the Wi-Fi or you can use the USB. Now since this has Wi-Fi on it and it's standard Wi-Fi, you could use a device like this to connect up something like this. This is an ESP32 microcontroller, has Wi-Fi on it. So you could connect to the Wi-Fi on this hotspot and you could use this for remote monitoring of sensors and other things like that. You can also use it with a remote security camera. Now depending on how much data you have, you may want to make sure you have the settings turned down on your video quality so you don't eat up all of your data. So that's the EIOTCLUB 4G LTE portable Wi-Fi hotspot. Now as I set this up and tried it out and used it, I didn't enter in any credit cards, I didn't have to sign up for any accounts, I just plugged it in and used it. So you get that 1 gigabyte for one day to try it out, and then you can go purchase different plans. So a Wi-Fi access point like this would be good for things like when you have internet outages. Now according to the description, this can run up to 12 hours on a charge. Of course, you can always plug it into power, but going beyond just using this to connect to a computer for web access, you can use this for security cameras, Internet of Things, and other uses. So it makes it very flexible. So if you want a hotspot you can carry around with you and just activate when you need it, I think this is a great option. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you liked this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.